Weirdest facts you won't stop thinking about. There's literally so much information in the world that it's scary to think of how little we know overall. However, today you're going to leave a whole lot smarter and have the perfect icebreaker for any conversation later. Number 35, world's first. If someone had to ask you about the history of the word sneakers, you might be inclined to think it stemmed from the 1950s or 1960s. Think Grease Lightning timeline. Keds claim they were the first to use the word sneakers in their 1917 ad campaign, selling shoes with rubber soles, making it easier for the wearer to sneak up on someone. They too could be wrong, as the word was used in the Boston Journal in 1887 to describe boys' tennis shoes. Number 34. What do you believe? There are a few articles that tell the story of Steve Jobs and how he believed by purely eating fruit would mean he wouldn't have to take regular showers. Former colleagues say he was made to do night shift in his early career so he wouldn't stink the place out too much. Some articles also state that he washed his feet in the toilet to relieve stress. Number 33. Time's up. Psychological research confirms that within a mere 4 minutes you will decide whether you like someone or not. So if you want to make an excellent first impression, you only have 4 minutes to do so. Don't stress about what to say. It's got more to do with your body language, tone, and speed of your voice. Number 32. It's the right decision. Struggling to make a decision about something important in your life? Apparently, if you speak your dilemma out in a different language, you will be able to make the correct decision. Reason being, you consider and think about each word that you say, causing you to become more level-headed about the overall decision. Number 31. Keeping it in the family. If you think your family can drive you crazy, think about this insane family in India. Ziona Chana is the head of the world's biggest family. He has 39 wives, 94 children, 14 daughters-in-law, and 33 grandchildren. Sure, that's hectic, but here's the even crazier bit. They all live in the same 4-story home in northeastern India. Number 30. Slight change of plans. Visiting the Epcot Center is always exciting, but did you know it wasn't intended to be an educational center part of a theme park? Apparently, Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype of Tomorrow, and the vision was to house 20,000 residents in a futuristic city. The project never came to fruition after Walt left this earth. Number 29. Heartbreaker. We've all struggled with a broken heart before, where it feels like your heart is physically breaking. Research confirms that it's not just a metaphor. Intense, traumatizing events like the loss of a loved one, betrayal, or divorce can really cause physical pain in your heart. The condition is known as broken heart syndrome, and the brain lets off certain chemicals that weaken the heart, causing shortness of breath and intense chest pains. It's more common in women and often misdiagnosed as a heart attack. Number 28. Scary thought. Something to think about when you're a parent, and try and avoid it wherever possible. It's confirmed that children today are more stressed than the average psych ward patient from 1950. We mean, in those days, kids weren't interviewed before going to preschool. The pressure on our children today is astronomical. Number 27. Why the long face? Because if you didn't have one, you were sentenced to 6 months in jail. After Kim Jong-il succumbed to a heart attack in 2011, North Koreans had to be very, very sad, even if they weren't actually sad. There was weeping, wailing, and a constant flow of tears for their departed leader. Number 26. Special bond. Robots have long been designed and developed to do things that humans do, and one of the objectives for many scientists is to create them to take the place of humans during fighting so that not as many lives are lost. Experimental trials have been done that were unsuccessful, as the few humans that were used during trials became attached to the robots to the point that they would put themselves in danger to save the robot. Number 25. A little OCD. If you've been in love, you'll know this to be 100% true. Those that are in love have very chemical similarities with those who suffer from OCD. This is very evident in the early stages of love, when there are lower levels of serotonin and higher levels of cortisol associated with stress. It's one of the reasons why people tend to act a little, or a lot, out of character when falling in love. Number 24. Same rules apply. Did you know that after returning from the moon, Neil Armstrong had to make his way through US customs just like every other ordinary citizen? Number 23. Just call me Dudine. These days, the word dude is used to refer to both male and female, but according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the female counterpart to dude is actually dudine. Doesn't quite have the same vibe, does it? Number 22. Once upon a time. This is a crazy thought. Martin Luther King Jr., Anne Frank, and Barbara Walters were all born in the same year. That year was 1929. Number 21. Feeling butterflies. If you're feeling butterflies in your stomach for whatever reason, it's not just a figment of your imagination. They're actually caused by adrenaline, which floods your body. Stomach muscles get extra sensitive during these fight or flight situations, and they're important as they increase your alertness by raising your heart rate, BP, and rate of breathing. Number 20. Money can't buy happiness. On the contrary, money can buy happiness. The obvious fact is that you never hear a poor person saying that money can't buy happiness and life is naturally more stressful, but research has capped a happiness figure of between $75,000 and $80,000, claiming that their happiness levels don't change thereafter. As long as people have a roof over their head, can feed themselves, and don't have to worry about running out of money, they're generally happy. Number 19. Just call me Alvin. As a voiceover artist, I am personally unable to pronounce this name, so here it is in text for you. Can you read it? A couple in Sweden actually named their kid this. They were adamant that you pronounce it Albin, and although they never registered the ridiculous name, they were adamant that you pronounced it Albin, and although they never registered the ridiculous name, the fine remained. Number 18. Hump Day. The only humps we're referring to are those of camels, and it's been said that Saudi Arabia import camels from Australia. If that doesn't sound weird enough, they're also said to import sand, which has different properties to their own sand, ideal for pressure cleaning building surfaces. Number 17. Tickled Pink. This is definitely not something you would think of every day. In fact, we're not even sure we ever thought about a hippo giving milk at all, but we don't know about you guys. This is a fact that you'd find people hopping onto Google to ensure you're correct because it's that unbelievable. A hippo's milk is pink. No jokes, and a single cup of pink hippo milk contains 500 calories. Number 16. Age is but a number. And Betty White is a true testament to that. This feisty lady was born in 1922, literally making her older than sliced bread. Number 15. Worth a read. Do you know what the most stolen book is from libraries? We'll give you a second to think about it. Pause the video if you want. It is the Guinness Book of World Records. Number 14. Let's speak numbers. Despite the massive size of Russia, Bangladesh has more people. Russia is roughly the same size as Pluto, whereas Bangladesh is slightly bigger than the state of New York. Russia has 143.5 million people, and Bangladesh has 156.6 million people. Number 13. Hear my roar. Think about the size of a cheetah. Now, think about what sound that big cat makes. Would you have thought that they only meow like a domestic cat? The big cats that roar are lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars. These big cats have a special ligament in their voice box that allows it to stretch, allowing them to make those louder roars, whereas the cheetah is stuck with a fixed structure that produces those endearing meows. Number 12. Identity crisis. Recite the poem Humpty Dumpty in your head quickly. Go on, everyone knows it. Okay, now, where does it say that Humpty Dumpty was an egg? So who decided that he should always be portrayed as an egg? Number 11. Going bananas. You might feel like you've been lied to your whole life when you hear this. It would seem that bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. Botanists affirm this fact, saying that true berries stem from a single flower with one ovary and usually have many seeds. So that would include kiwis, pomegranates, and yes, bananas. Number 10. That's unlucky. We're pretty sure this wasn't what Gary Kremen was expecting when he founded Match.com. He lost his girlfriend, who happened to find her perfect match on the website. Hard luck, Gary. Number 9. The numbers speak for themselves. There are more than 3 billion people in the world that use the internet, but things in North Korea are slightly different. Reports suggest that there are only 605 people who are allowed to use the internet. Internet access is restricted to a few elites and specially selected university students. Number 8. Extra backup. In every single Dutch police car, there is always a teddy bear. Why? In case something bad happens to a small child, the bear is there to provide instant comfort. Such a simple and clever idea. Number 7. A tale of 3 cities. Or in this case, a tale of 3 countries. Lesotho, Vatican City, and San Marino are the only 3 countries in the world that are surrounded by an entirely different country. For example, Lesotho is in the middle of South Africa, and Vatican City and San Marino are based in Italy. Number 6. Everyone's a winner. You'd feel a bit like one of Oprah Winfrey's guests if you went to the Oscars. Even if you don't walk away with one of the little golden men, you most certainly don't walk away with nothing. Every Oscar award loser receives a gift bag valued up to $50,000. It contains everything from maple syrup to Windex. Best goodie bag ever. Number 5. Not the best decision. We all know the huge success story that The Lion King was and still continues to dazzle on Broadway, but what you may not know is that the most senior animators decided to rather work on Pocahontas and left the job of animating for The Lion King to the first-time animators. They certainly didn't expect it to be the huge hit that it was. Number 4. Wash me, please. Dirty cars are a pretty common sight on the roads, but not in Russia. It's so not worth it because you can get fined for driving a car that's deemed too dirty by traffic officials. Number 3. The accent gave them away. It has been stated that cows moo with regional accents. We'd love to know who conducted such a study, and you have to wonder if the other cows notice a difference if a cow is introduced into their herd from another state or country. Number 2. It stops at 364. With the use of a licking machine, students at Purdue University confirmed that it takes exactly 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Number 1. Worth the read. Have you ever read an online privacy policy in your life? If you were to read each and every one of them that you agree to in a year, it would take you 76 work days to read them all.